me check. All right, so good evening, good afternoon, and good night to whoever is watching the stream or whenever you watch the stream. My name is Marvin Smith, and by the title, I'm going to be talking about the Kaspersky Labs ban. So I'm going to be showing some reference. Just to give you full disclosure, this ban has been in effect since 2018. It basically started 2017. It started with government agencies and okay, give me a second. Just testing a few things. So basically it started in 2017. The basic mandate was that Kaspersky Lab products be removed off of government computers and things of that nature. So now I believe we're in the last phase of the ban, and customers who are using Kaspersky Lab products, antivirus solution, things like that, basically they have to because they've been ordered by the current administration to stop all sales, any updates whatsoever, anything within that nature, to pretty much stop all sales and any updates of Kaspersky Labs products. And for companies that are using Kaspersky Labs, they pretty much have till December to find alternatives. Now this is a big deal for anybody who's in the industry. I've known for years, again, I'm not taking sides, I've just known for years that Kaspersky Labs products, again, questionable is what I'm gonna say with air quotes, questionable. So I've just known for years that product was not up to standards. But we're going to start this stream off. We're going to go into some context and just give you a little background. So this interview that you're looking at, this small clip from CBS is from 6 years ago, where they've talked about Kaspersky Labs, the FBI looking into Kaspersky Labs and what they were all about, things like that. So I'm going to get into it right now, and then I'm just going to get into other few things on the timeline of this ban.
Says that it regularly meets with private sector organizations to share security concerns. The FBI says that it regularly meets with private sector organizations to share security concerns, but it doesn't tell companies what business decisions to make. Kaspersky, meanwhile, is preparing a free version of its software. Elaine.
Well, Jeff, it seems the FBI has been warning American firms about Kaspersky Labs for some time. While Russia is a concern, are there other nations that are a threat?
Well, this is a concern that U.S. intelligence officials have had for some time about Kaspersky Lab, and that's what we have been focused on, following up on this company and the concerns that U.S. intelligence officials and some law enforcement officials privately have told us. But this is a company that is, as we noted in our report, is used in computers worldwide. According to its figures, 400 million customers use this company. And it is alleged by U.S. intelligence officials, both current and former, that this is a company that has these ties to the Russian government. Of course, Eugene Kaspersky, the founder of the company, vigorously denies this, but those concerns persist. And we heard it again today from this cyber czar who essentially sent a warning out to consumers out there. And that, Elaine, is what's different here. We know that U.S. intelligence officials have been concerned about Kaspersky Lab for some time, but to hear the White House cyber czar say specifically, suggesting that consumers should beware and follow the lead of the government, that's what's really notable here today.
Well, Jeff, the FBI has reportedly been focusing its warnings on the energy sector following the crippling of Ukraine's power grid last year. Are there other sectors that are of concern? And do you get a sense of how vulnerable U.S. infrastructure is to a similar attack?
Well, listen, critical in general, you have power grids. They are always a concern. Nuclear facilities, things like that. When you have a problem with cybersecurity, and that's where we are right now with this nation, there is this ongoing concern about the vulnerability of critical infrastructure. And you refer to what happened in Ukraine. DHS has studied what happened in Ukraine, and that has served as a model for something to beware of, and that's what DHS officials tell us. They have been able to learn from that and apply some of those lessons here. But this is an ongoing battle, protecting against these hackers who are targeting critical infrastructure. It is an ongoing battle, and we learned today, according to the White House cyber czar, this country is about 300,000 people short in terms of the forces, if you will, that they need or the country needs to defend against cyber attacks. So that was notable also, that he had that specific number in his head, and he talked to us about.
So that number that the reporter just said, so that was from 6 years ago. And he's basically saying that the United States doesn't have enough individuals or candidates that are in the cybersecurity field, and this was 6 years ago. So I don't know what the current numbers are now, but okay, hold on. So, like I was saying, I don't know what the current numbers are now, but we're not receiving enough video, maintain streaming. So, like I was saying, I don't know what the current numbers are now, but I'm sure that the numbers are much worse. So, but I'm gonna restart it. Just give me 1 second. Let's move this up a bit. All right, let's continue.
That was something that we hadn't heard before.
Yeah, interesting. Well, a moment ago you mentioned CEO Eugene Kaspersky. He said that he's willing to testify before Congress and has even offered up the company's source code to clear the company's name. Do you have a sense as to why he hasn't been taken up on that offer?
Well, that's a good question, and we'll have to follow up with members of Congress on that. He has been saying for some time now that he is willing to testify, and he's essentially saying to U.S. officials, put up or shut up. And so we will see if he ever comes to testify. He has granted interviews, didn't grant us an interview today for this story. They did give us a statement. But he has adamantly denied these accusations over and over again. So we'll have to see if he shows up on Capitol Hill.
All right, Jeff Pegues in Washington for us. Jeff, thanks very much.
My pleasure.
Yeah, so that was a clip from 6 years ago, CBS. Now, this ban has been going on since 2017. We're now in 2024, and while we're waiting, I'm going to give you some context into pretty much people have been saying this for a while now. This is an article from Avast, basically another company who I feel had some great potential, but again, I don't know. I think they pretty much dropped the bag, to be honest. Great product, great solutions, but when everybody found out that they were basically selling user information. So, but like this article said, is Kaspersky safe to use in 2024? Again, just giving you more back context. We know what's going on in the world between the U.S. and Russia. So again, stuff like this is probably going to keep happening. And I'm also going to show you more companies that are actually banned in the United States for other reasons, to sell products and things like that. But reading this article from Avast, basically it says, is Kaspersky safe to use in 2024? Russia's February 2022 invasion of the Ukraine, basically that sparked a lot of controversy throughout the world. And basically just saying that Kaspersky Labs, being a Moscow-based company, they have offices here in the U.S. The United States feels like basically just the United States government feels like that is a foothold within critical infrastructure, things like that. And just going forward, they don't want to have a massive cyber attack happen just because, we gave a company, pretty much the back door. So a lot of companies have had their data breaches due to malware getting on an engineer's machine. The engineer doesn't have the proper capability, but that whole situation is just, you could there's so many ways around that I just don't understand, like why simple things like that, instead of using a engineer's machine, you could create a virtual machine, or Windows now has Windows 11 that's cloud-based, and with the right applications and tools, you could install the proper applications that you need. You could apply the proper security policies and things like that. So when I hear about companies being hacked and things like that, and the way that the threat actor got in was basically through an engineer's laptop. The engineer didn't have any antivirus solutions on there. But just getting into this little bit into this article, it basically says U.S. government banned Kaspersky software to try to reduce the risk of a Russian cyber attack. The United States government has banned the sale and update of the software developed by the cybersecurity company Kaspersky Labs. In its statement, we're going to go to this site pretty soon, but in its statement, the privileged access security software used to protect computer system could be exploited to steal sensitive information. Again, a lot of us, me personally, who's been in the industry for a while, I've known this for some time. I'm not pointing fingers. I'm not saying, hey, this software is not legit, but again, I've known for some time that this software is not 100% legitimate, and I've never used it throughout my career. I've never installed it, Never had it on my personal machine whatsoever. So this article goes into saying, while independent experts have historically judged Kaspersky's cyber software products to be safe, Russia's war against the Ukraine has called this assessment into question. I'm going to leave this article in the show notes, but I want to get into the actual timeline pretty soon. Just hold on. So, Kaspersky Lab's timeline. So, as you can see on the screen right now, this basically, let's close that out. Cancel. So, cancel that. So, like I was saying before, September 2017, it's when the first phase of the ban happened. DHS requires all federal agencies to remove and discontinue use of Kaspersky products due to concerns of exploits by the Russian government. December 2017, NDAA for fiscal year 2018 signed into law prohibiting the use of Kaspersky products within the federal networks. So we're going into March 2022. FCC adds Kaspersky to its list of communication equipment and services that pose a threat to national security, further restricting operations within the United States. We're gonna go to that FCC list because there's other companies on there also. Now, as of June 2024, the BIS announced a final determination prohibiting Kaspersky Labs Inc. from providing cybersecurity products and services in the United States, and it adds 3 Kaspersky entities to the entity list of cooperating with Russian military and intelligence. So this ban has been happening for a while, since 2017. First phase happened. Now that it's pretty much June 2024 of this year, it's when the last piece of the last judgment was passed on to ban Kaspersky from the United States. So what does this mean to businesses that are using Kaspersky? It means that basically you have till the end of September to find alternatives, or if you're find alternatives or other solutions to provide cybersecurity to computers. What does this mean for the regular consumer? It means that all Kaspersky Labs products will probably be removed from shelves if they're still there, if they're still being stocked. All U.S. stores will no longer have Kaspersky Labs products in them. Will the ban ever be removed? I don't think so. I'm just looking at this as this is something that, again, I'm not taking sides. I'm just basically saying this should have happened a long time ago. I mean, we've seen the security industry basically, in my opinion, just kind of just fall apart. We've had major breaches last year from top security providers and things like that, and I just feel like it's time for new players to come into the market. I'm a big fan of EDR solutions, one company that I partnered with my company. It's called Viper. I'm going to be doing some demos on why I feel like their product is superior over everything else. It's cloud based, which is what my company focuses on, cloud solutions only. Patching of software with AI built in, real-time analytics, and things like that. So from that being said, I'm going to continue to go down. I'm going to show you the FCC.com's site, where it shows that shows all the companies that are pretty much banned from doing business within the United States. So as you can see right here, these are all the companies: Huawei Technologies, ZTE Corporation. Let me see if I pronounce that correctly. Hydra Communication Corporation, Hike Vision. So this company creates a lot of IP cameras. So, but I still see those IP cameras around sometime in the consumer space. This company is a video surveillance company, video surveillance and telecommunication equipment producer. So I'm gonna leave all these notes in all these links in the show notes once I get it all prepared. But as you can see right here, AO Kaspersky Labs, which is pretty much information security products and solution and service supplier, directly or indirectly by Kaspersky Labs or any of its predecessors, successors, partners, parents, subsidiaries, or affiliates, which means anybody who resells Kaspersky software. Pretty much they're not banned, but they pretty much have till September to, again, find alternatives, figure out some way to continue providing service, and so forth. So as the list continues, never really seen this company in the United States: China Mobile International, China Telecom, Pacific Network Corp, China Unicom America. These are all like back-end companies, back-end telecom, providing specific solutions within the telecom industry. So yeah, so this has been happening for a while. And let me see what else. So now we're going to go to Office of Information and Communication Technology Services. This is another government agency. So this is the official notice. Basically states it prohibits any use of Kaspersky Labs products and so forth. These are pretty much I think this is EO stands for executive order. So this means it comes from the office, the Biden administration, things like that. CFR, I don't remember exactly what that means, but again, these are a lot of executive orders basically stating that the reasons why this product is being banned. And my personal belief is like this is pretty much a hot topic. So I don't know why, a lot of other YouTubers are not talking about it. The quote unquote tech YouTubers, they're not talking about this because this is pretty major right now. This product is pretty much, it's given away free. It's think of it at some point in time like it's like a McAfee antivirus program. So it's kind of like its competitor, but Kaspersky Labs is pretty much a global company. So let me see what else. And this last government site, Bureau of Industry and Safety and Security, basically states that it prohibits anyone from reselling or providing reselling pretty much, and it pretty much just bans Kaspersky Labs from the United States. And right here is pretty much where it says in order to minimize disruption to the United States, consumers and businesses, and to give them time to find suitable alternatives, the department determinations will allow Kaspersky to continue certain operations in the United States, including providing antivirus signature updates and code-based updates until midnight Eastern Daylight Time on September 29th. So companies pretty much have until, small businesses, medium-sized, have until September 29th, 2024 to find alternatives to Kaspersky's products. So from there, I'm going to show you another video.
The FBI.
So, no, this is from the first one.
To the FBI's investigation of...
So, yeah, again, so this is from 7 years ago. Let me see. Like I said, I'm surprised that a lot of YouTubers aren't really talking about this. They're not, not spreading the word, but this is, I believe this is something big. I believe this is, the chance and opportunity to, to newer technology to come onto the market. I've been saying this since last year. We need to kind of move away from that concept of antivirus and things like that. We need to properly adopt proper wording, like, I'm looking for the best EDR solution. I'm looking for, intrusion detection response and things of that nature.
Virus software on national security.
So I'm going to play this video.
Day.
So this is from pretty much 2 weeks ago. I think it pretty much talks about the same thing, but
Well, the United States has imposed sanctions on a dozen executives of the Russia-based cybersecurity firm Kaspersky Lab. The announcement comes a day after Washington unveiled plans to ban U.S. sales of the company's antivirus software on national security grounds. The Commerce Department said an investigation had found that Kaspersky's operations were vulnerable to Russian government influence, and the company's access to sensitive data could be exploited by Moscow for cyber attacks. Kaspersky says it will appeal. The Kremlin has accused Washington of unfair competition. Let's bring in Dennis Kenji Kipka, a professor of IT security law at the Bremen University of Applied Sciences. Thank you so much for your time. How much of a risk would you say Kaspersky's antivirus software is?
Yeah, so if you look at the communication of all the US authorities, you can see that we are primarily talking about a lot of political assumptions and with that, of course, fear. So it is therefore less about what has happened in the past regarding cybersecurity and data privacy issues. It's more about what's to be feared in the future from a technical perspective. And in Germany, for example, the Federal Information Security Office, the BSI, as the most important cybersecurity authority of Germany, has also warned about Kaspersky in the past, in the year 2022, that serious consequences could occur if the software continues to be used. But so far, technically speaking, nothing has happened. So we are therefore talking a lot about risks here and about hypothetical possibilities. And it's also to mention that in the US, we do not see at the moment a whole ban of the software itself, but it's mostly about Kaspersky antivirus software, which may not longer be offered on the US market. So to say, companies and private people still may use this software or the products, but of course this will be difficult if the company no longer, for example, provides any kinds of updates on the US American market.
So why do you think they went after Kaspersky specifically? And could it potentially be used for spying and stealing information as US authorities allege?
Yeah, so we are talking about antivirus software, we are talking about computer security software here, and antivirus software has definitely extensive rights to computer systems, and that's also the point the US government is making here. So the software, for example, and these examples are definitely mentioned, could be used to exploit security vulnerabilities, possibly create new ones, or not inform users about existing vulnerabilities or some kind of new malware. However, as I said before, these are often theoretical scenarios, so we cannot say if that has really happened in the past or if this is going to happen in the future. But it is definitely to say that the Americans come to this conclusion because they have realized in some way that Russia, of course, on one hand is at war, and on the other hand is not well disposed toward the United States. So accordingly, companies that have Russian origins or are based in Russia are viewed particularly critically at the moment. And the US assumes simply that a risk to national security is there if products are used in government agencies or critical infrastructures, for example. And now with that warning, they go a step further and they also say, well, it's about data privacy and cybersecurity of US American citizens they want to protect here.
Now, you mentioned also those consumer warnings here in Germany that were made 2 years ago against people here in Germany using Kaspersky software. Do you think what's happened in the United States will now also change what we're likely to see in terms of recommendations or laws being passed here in Germany?
Yeah, in my opinion, there is no concrete legal basis for a general ban on Kaspersky software in Germany. The most that can be done is to issue a warning against the software products, and this has already been done in the past 2 years ago. And here in Germany too, of course, however, circumstances under which this warning was issued 2 years ago were disputed in the past. However, in the course of increasing geopolitical and strategic conflicts, not only regarding Russia, but also China, we also see more and more such political decisions of authorities in the future which have technology relevance, for example, in which hardware and software sovereignty is at stake. And this is also a political topic of high relevance in Germany at the moment. And the political tensions won't change here.
Well, thank you so much for joining us with your expertise. That is Dennis Kenji Kipke at the Bremen University of Applied Sciences.
You're welcome.
So, pretty much just a few points that I'm taking from that interview is that, again, when in the technology field, things like that, if you're an everyday user, you should be pretty much aware of, you know, what data is being collected, what software is doing what on your machine. Again, my job is, I guess the purpose of this stream is not to kind of pass judgment. It's basically just to give you context on what on what caused this ban. Pretty much this has been happening since 2017, and this was even before the Russian-Ukraine invasion. It's basically the United States feels like this big company has ties to, Russian intelligence, things of that nature, and seeing that it's so widespread and this software is being used on pretty much government machines, consumer machines, and even in business, this could be a potential security risk. And whether you believe it or not, or whether you think that's true, another thing you have to think about is, okay, we live in the era of the cloud. We know that there are other solutions out there, better solutions. It's just about getting that market foothold, showing consumers that there are better solutions out there, solutions that once you install it on a machine, it's not going to infect that machine with a virus. I've just never gotten that concept. It's just, other security software is just, once you install it, it automatically it detects a virus or, some kind of malware. Some people might say it installed it, it was already there, things like that. Again, neither here nor there, but again, with other solutions that are out there, a company this big, I think, I just don't know. Again, I'm not here to pass opinion. I'm not here to pass judgment. In just my history in the field, I've always stayed clear of any Kaspersky products. Just too much unknowns and just too many things. And I feel this ban is a good opportunity for, if you're an independent cybersecurity consultant out there, you should be, salivating right now. This is an opportunity, for you to find better solutions or even partner with, a company like myself. Like we have a cloud-based. We partner with a company that provides a cloud-based EDR solution. Again, you should be looking at solutions with AI built in. Again, you're pretty much sleeping and AI is running 24/7. You should be looking at solutions like that. You shouldn't be, partnering with solutions that are, I think, in my opinion, just pretty much past their time. So let me see, what else do I have for you right now? We basically looked at the timeline. We looked at this ban has started. It started pretty much before, the Russian-Ukraine invasion, and it's just not about. It's not about that. It's just basically about the U.S. government made a decision, and it just felt like it was time to officially ban this product. And I've seen a few videos from other YouTubers that said, that's saying, hey, this ban is unfair, or, it's just, we live in a free society. We should choose the software that we should choose the software that we want to have access our information. True, but again, if we're basically, as taxpayers, want the government to do their job. Their job is to basically keep, the United States citizens safe. I think it was a good call on their part. Again, why it took so long, that's a different story. But again, one YouTuber, I'm not going to bring up his name, but he basically said in a free society, we should be able to choose what software we have access our information. Yes, that is a true statement, but again, as a consumer yourself, you should be fully aware of what software is accessing what information is being, where that information is going, pretty much. I like the fact that over in Europe, they have a hard stance on accessing, data protection. They're all about pretty much protecting consumer information, while here in the U.S., it's pretty much like the Wild Wild West. It's like, nobody really cares about their information, or nobody really cares about what solution it's running on their machine. The common mindset is just like, hey, I have something on my machine, it's protecting my data, and it's quote unquote protecting your data, but the average consumer can't really, prove that. But like I said, I've been saying this since last year. We need to adopt new technology. We need to adopt new methodology of protecting our data. We need to kind of shift away from that saying of antivirus, malware. We should be looking at better cloud solutions, better EDR solutions, and just get that wording out there. Like, if you go into whatever Best Buy or whatever, and you buy a machine, you buy a laptop, you should be asking that person is what kind of EDR software is on my machine, or what software comes with it. Things like that. Proper education, I think, is one of the things that we kind of lack here in our society when it comes to just buying products. But again, you can't be mad at good marketing, because again, it's just good marketing is basically what sets the trends for everything. Back in the early days, it was probably McAfee as the best software, as the best antivirus solution out there. I've used McAfee. Again, in just my opinion, I just don't see how it bogs down your machine in order to protect your machine. That's a different story. But again, as I've gone on in the industry, I've looked for different solutions. I've looked for different products. One of my favorite products was Avast, but again, when I found out that they were selling user data, I basically just said, nah, I'm turned away from it. And I do like the industry term right now is basically, EDR solutions. What's the best one? Does it have AI built in? Does it have machine learning aspects? As I learn more about AI, you have anomaly detection algorithms, and machine learning algorithms, things like that. So again, when we look at just your basic antivirus and you look at these big companies, a lot of these companies are pretty much, threat actors are basically just, taking them for fools. If you look at SolarWinds, they're another major player in the industry, but yet last year they announced that they had a data breach. If you look at Octel, again, another major player, major backend. Last year they announced that they had a data breach. And basically all those data breaches came from the engineer or the backend developer being targeted, malware being installed on his machine. From there, once the attacker got hold of the engineer's machine, it was just free reign, get into the system and do what it needs to do. But again, I don't want to say I think this is a good thing. Again, my opinion is not to kind of pass judgment. I look at it as this is a good time for new players to come onto the market, new players to provide better solutions. You know, I think this is also a good opportunity for proper education. Let's get away from having antivirus. You know, let's get into what is the best EDR solution out there. What is the best products that we could use? Does it have AI? Does it have machine learning aspect? How does it update? You know, what information is being collected? So, with that being said, I think I'm gonna come to an end pretty soon. I don't want to stay on this live too long. Again, I just don't understand why a lot of people are not talking about this. This is a hot topic, and this is a major topic. Anytime I hear stuff like this, I kind of just go back to that Shannon Sharp and Cat Williams interview when Cat Williams says all things will come to light in 2024, and that just keeps popping back into my head when I hear things about like this. So, which is a good thing. So, with that being said, thank you for those who are viewing. I'll try to be more consistent. I'm back making content now, so I'll try to throw some lives in there and just talk about some stuff. But please like, share, and subscribe. Leave your comments. I'll be updating the show notes pretty much right after this live. I'll put the links in there where you guys could just click and read the information. And I will see you guys again. Thank you for those who are viewing, and I'll be back soon.